If we combine melodic or progressive house with tech house, we have melodic tech house. Let's make a song in this style in 2025. Let's start with the chord progression. I'm gonna have for the bass these notes. I'm gonna keep this one like this. For the chords, I'm gonna use these notes. And I'm not gonna have the third one, at least not for now. And then for the second part, to change it a little bit, I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter and I'm gonna make it go a bit higher. Of course, this piano is just to start with the idea. This is so basic and boring. To start with the break, I'm gonna have a normal wrist bass. And then to keep evolving the song, after 8 bars, I'm gonna add some pads with the chords we made. To keep this a bit more interesting, I'm gonna add the common house rhythm. For the hi-hats, I'm gonna use these 3 because the first one is good, but it's not as wide and full as I want to. So I decided to add this one to the left and this one to the right. So this way it sounds way more full. For the claps, I did the same thing. I have 3 different claps, each one adding a different character. And finally, I'm gonna use this close hat to create like a shaker rhythm, but doing something like this is not bad, but it's a bit basic and standard. So what I'm gonna do is move these 2 a little bit up front, so we have a bit of swing. And also with this volume shaper, I'm enhancing this swing and I'm making it a bit different. For example, this one is a bit shorter than this one is a bit longer, so this way we add a different groove, without and with. In the end, these small details is what really makes a difference on drums and basically everything that you do. And I think I'm gonna put all these drums also here, but here I'm gonna have them with a filter. But if there's something that my years of experience with music production told me, is that atmosphere sounds really make a difference. Actually, I have an atmosphere sample pack with a lot of different types of ambient sounds, and I'm making the volume 2 that is way better and way bigger, so stay tuned. So, well, let's add all of this. I know maybe it's a bit too much, but it really works. We first have a vinyl noise. 2 downlifters. Here I have a reverse vocal from my Atmospheres pack. And a vocal drone also from my Atmospheres pack. Here I have this breathing that is myself. It has a bit of panning, so it's gonna add some movement on the sides. And then just atmosphere sounds. On this one I made an automation of the panning. And one last one with an automation of the volume. To keep going up. For the next 8 bars, I basically have the same atmosphere sounds. I just decided to remove the vinyl noise. The break is no longer that empty, so we don't really need this noise. I have another downlifter and an impact. And then I decided to add this new atmosphere sound. I think it adds a lot of rhythm. So well, now we have this. But it's really interesting to have things moving, going up, going down, opening filters, all these kind of things makes the song really interesting, apart from using atmospheres or ambient sounds. So on this pad I'm using, that is from my Soundband Volume 1, I have this macro here. This macro is sent to this cutoff. So basically I'm gonna automate this so we open and close the cutoff as the song is going. I want a long break, so I'm gonna copy this and clone it here. But remember, every 8 bars, the song always needs a change. So I'm going to add more pads. I think this one adds a really nice touch. And finally, after all of this, we're going to go to the build-up to start introducing the drop. For the build-up, basically, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna copy all of this and put it here. To keep making the song evolving, I'm going to add even more pads. As you can see, I'm trying to make the song as full as possible with a lot of ambient sounds and with pads, because it is gonna give a really nice melodic vibe coming from the progressive house or from melodic house. But then in the drop, we're gonna create a big contrast. Just keep watching. I think I always recommend you to do for the build-ups is that the bass gets a low cut slowly. This way, you're gonna create a good contrast in the bass frequencies from the build-up to the drop, and when the drop comes, you're gonna have a lot more bass, so it's gonna feel stronger, heavier, and fuller. And look, this really cool thing. I'm just gonna extend this and we create like an effect. Of course, for a build-up we need the snares, and I'm gonna use this loop from my build-ups pack. But I'm gonna have volume automation to control a bit the volume at the end. No, Wildcrow, but using loops is cheating. It's 2025. Stop saying bullshit. And actually this is my own loop, I created it. But also we need effects like downlifters and uplifters. Did you hear that click? To avoid this click, just go here, just make this little fade out, like this already has it. And now, there's no click. What else? What else we can add? Oh, this little boy. But I know what you're thinking. Wildcrow, this is nice, this sounds awesome, this beautiful. But where's the vocal? So these are all the vocal takes, automation, harmonies, and everything I have for this song. This video would be way too long if I explain everything on this vocal, but I have several videos about vocals in my YouTube channel. Just go to the playlist, you have one that is specifically for vocals, just go and watch those specific and in-depth videos. But well, it sounds like this.
Hold me, need your body on mine. I've been lost inside the waves, I've been caught in the smoke.
And in my opinion, with this, the break is finished. But now we need to make the drop. So let's start with some drums, and maybe I went too far with the layering. It works, it works. So we have a kick. Then I have this right here that basically what it's doing is trying to fill a bit the space of the kick. Then I have the proper hi-hats of the drop, the claps, some shakers, and one loop to make all of this sound a bit fuller. Now let's go with the bass, that here is really important. I have this one for the sub. First mid bass, quite clean and in the center. Second, a bit more plucky and giving character. Another one. This one is also quite warm, but it's a bit wider. We start opening a bit the sound to the sides. Another one, also quite plucky, but super wide. And finally, this one is covering so well the low mids. And for the bass in melodic tech house, we can say you can use two types of basses. One coming more from melodic techno, melodic house, progressive house, that is the rolling one, or one coming more from tech house, that is with a bit more rhythm. In this case, I went for the rhythm one. And probably you realize that the bass is only in one note. It doesn't change, there's no bass progression. That's only for the first 8 bars of the drop. In the next 8 bars, in the second part of the drop, I'm going to do the bass progression. And the bass progression is just the one we had in the wrist bass in the break. And here comes a really good tip. Sometimes it's good to experiment with some pitch bend automations to make the bass a bit more interesting. In this case, I start with a really low pitch, so it creates like a one effect. And then in some parts, I have different things. For example, here I go a bit higher, then I start again, and then to end the 4 bars, I have like a tape stop. So check without and with. And I know it's really subtle, but if you pay attention, it really makes a difference. To enhance the strength of this bass, I'm gonna have these 2 stabs. And I thought it was nice for the second part of the drop have another bass, but this one is not with the rhythm, it's sustained. Check the difference. I don't know, it makes it sound fuller. And now what you've been waiting for? The melody. What can we do here? Because if we need to have a melodic thing, but we also need to have a tech house vibe, what can we do? What I decided to do is not what you must do, is to have a kind of darker melody for the first part of the drop and have a bit more emotional melody for the second part of the drop. This is the first melody. And this is the second one, that as you can see is following the notes of the bass. And finally some chord sounds, but only for the second part of the drop where we have the bass progression and the emotional melody. And of course we can make the drop sound a lot fuller if we add a lot of ambience and effects and all of this. Have you heard that? In this downlifter I decided to have an automation that only activated here. to give a bit more rhythm, to make it a bit more like you spend time with it, like you give your love to the track. And now that we have our drop, what we can do is add some of the sounds that we have in the drop, like the melody, the chords, or the bass, in the build-up. So it's way we introduce better the drop, and we're kind of mixing the break with the drop. For this track, I decided to just use the chords and the bass and don't have the melody. The chords have the chord progression because the pads of the break have the chord progression, even if later the drop is not going to have at the beginning a chord progression. But then we have the bass with the rhythm from the drop, also filtered but from the highs to the lows. And last but not least, it depends on how melodic you want to go or how tech you want to go. You can do different things on the drop, of course, that depends just on you and your creativity. But for this one, I wanted to go a bit more on the side of melodic house, progressive house and so, and in the drop I decided to add vocals. So first I have the main vocal doing this.
We can hide away.
And then on the second part it has the normal vocal.
Take my heart, keep it safe.
But I also have this vocal here, more kind of ambient. All the time the same. And basically this is the song. So guys, if you don't know it yet, this is my new song called Hideaway with Jamie Deras as the singer. It's out everywhere, and also you can download it for free. Down below in the description you have the link to go and listen on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever you want, and also download it. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, comment something like if you like the song, if this tutorial helped you or whatever, and let's check the end result.
Hold me, need your body